certifying badasses one podcast at a time, teaching you to love Monday. Check your baggage at licensed-to-be-badass.com and hop on the bus to Badassville. Turn up your energy with Mustang Monday. Here once again in the driver's seat is Kelly Orchard.
All right, so, oh my gosh, see, it's like they say never do things with children or animals. As far as like performances, you know what I mean? Because they steal the show. So I'm so thrilled to have this guest in the car. But actually, this is my friend from Rotary. They all just call you Yano. What is your last name?
Yanoshik.
Yanoshik.
So when people first get to introduce to me, I usually say I'm Jim. That's my first name.
Right.
And then when when they get past the initiation, I bless them and call me Yano.
Call me Yano.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I've been blessed. But you're also a certified badass because while we were on the lockdown, you attended my badass certification class.
I did.
And so we were at a thing the other day, and Yano was telling some of his dad jokes, which are always fun. And I said, you need to get into the car and do a Mustang Monday video with me. And he agreed, but he asked if he could bring his friend, Bojangles. Yeah. And so, Yano, okay, so just a little, see, this is Badass Tips from the Streets. And you have a lot of great advice. But first things first, you're a retired dentist.
Correct.
So, and I know so many interesting things about this gentleman that I would love for you to share. But then my question is, what drives you to do all of these things that you do? I mean, first of all, how long did you practice dentistry?
Over 30 years.
Over 30 years. But you're also a marathon runner.
Ironman triathlete.
Triathlete.
Endurance.
Okay, that's not
bike.
even, that's like bigger than marathon, right?
Yeah.
An
Ironman is a 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike ride, and then a marathon.
Okay.
And I've done 27 of them.
Holy cow. I haven't even done one marathon ever. I couldn't even run around the block.
I've probably done over 100 marathons.
Wow. Okay.
So.
And then tell us about this friend here, because this is one of the things that you do that I'm always intrigued by.
Yeah, this is Mr. Bojangles. He's a service dog in training.
Now, what's his breed?
He's a Berner Doodle,
right,
a Bernese Mountain Dog Poodle. Okay. And the breeder specifically bred him to be a little bigger, to be a support dog, to help with transitions from beds or wheelchairs. And he's part of canine support teams, and we're volunteer puppy raisers for canine support teams. So we take donated puppies, raise them for 16 to 18 months, and then have to hand them in, and they go to the prison for 6 months, and they'll come out and get matched up with their client.
Okay, so how did you get, so all of these things that you do, and then also you're one of the founding charter members of the Marietta Rotary Club, which is where I get a lot of my candidates for Mustang Monday, by the way, and the reason it's so easy, because we go to Rotary on Monday.
Shooting fish in a
barrel. It's totally shooting fish in a barrel. So you're a founding member of Rotary Club too, which is also 30 years old, so... Okay, so you're really dug into this community and doing really good things. In fact, you head up a lot of some of the Rotary activities as well that are really special, like special needs dance and stuff like that. And what are you talking about? You're very humble looking, just like, yeah, I do all this.
Yeah, we do a lot. I'm also on the Salvation Army Advisory Board, so we have a good partnership with the Rotary Club, and
Bojangles just wants to give you a big old kiss.
So Child Spree, we send over 200 children into JCPenney to shop for school clothes. We do a special needs adult Valentine's dance. We ring the bell for Salvation Army. So
that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and I can't believe I did all this while I was working full time too. So
I know. So how did you?
I don't know. And trained for Ironman triathlons, and
you're successfully married.
Yeah,
you kept your marriage together too.
Over 30 years.
Wow. So everything all for you began at once. Okay, so getting to my question, because you are very, very involved, and that's, part of the Rotary creed is service above self. So what drives you now that you're retired? I mean, you could probably just go off and travel and be extremely selfish right now, but you're not.
That was the word I was going to use. I'm very selfish in that when I do good things for other people, it makes me feel good.
Yes.
So I'm selfish. I mean, we have a Rotary member, Frank Dono, who says, Rotary is good people doing good things while having a good time.
That's true.
And I just, I feel good for example, yes, it's hard to give up Mr. Bojangles.
I know. So getting to that was one of that's always the first thing that I say to him. It's like, I can't believe you have to give this guy up in like a year or so, or not. It's sooner, isn't it?
Yeah, for him, we've had him enough over a year. He'll be gone to the prison. And when a young serviceman said, I called the suicide hotline, I made my transition plans, and I heard about this program, and if it wasn't for this dog, I wouldn't be here. Yeah, and I'm a former Navy guy, so I have a special place in my heart
for servicemen. Okay. So you were in the Navy before you were dead. See, that one I didn't know.
I was a Navy dentist.
Okay?
So I graduated from the University of Michigan, and the unemployment rate was 25%, and the inflation was. Interest rates were 16 to 18% for just a regular loan, so I couldn't look good enough to a bank to get into private practice, so I joined the Navy, and it was a great move for me. I was supposed to spend 3 years in the Navy. I ended up spending 6 years, and so
they taught you you learned dentistry through the Navy.
No, I was already a dentist.
You're already a dentist, okay.
But I got special training in things like advanced cardiac life support, advanced trauma, because when the fecal material hits the oscillating fan, dentists aren't going to be doing dentistry. They're going to be helping with surgeries and things like that. So,
well, if I said when the fecal matter,
this is a PG.
You know what I mean? Is it? We say badass a lot.
I know.
I guess it's PG. So what drives you is your own selfishness. I love that you're selfish yourself because you feel better when you do good things for people. Yeah.
And one thing I try to tell, especially young mothers, always, and this sounds selfish, but always take care of yourself, number one. Because if you can't take care of yourself,
you're no good to anybody.
You're no good to your family. Right? So military and first responders are taught when they go into a situation, first look around and make sure whatever got the victim doesn't get you. So it sounds selfish, but when you think about it, when you're fully charged, then you can actually do more out there.
So one of the things that fully charges you is your Ironman, your training probably, because that's got to be consistent. If you're post-COVID, like how many would you usually do a year?
Well, I kind of retired from doing the full distance Ironman. I'm now doing half Ironman, and I'm also doing multi-sports, and I've qualified to represent the United States at the World Championships for the last 4 years. So that's a big deal. Yeah, I'm kind of happy about that.
And so are you going this year?
Yes, I'm supposedly going to Almer, which is just outside Amsterdam. Okay. And then the next year they've postponed one of my events, and now it'll be in Australia.
So all of these things that you do, I'd ask what's your favorite, because that's usually what I try to do with people. Say, if you had a great weekend, what was your favorite part of the weekend? But of all of these things that you do, which one just really is your total passion? The dogs, the Ironman,
probably the being in shape, because health is terribly important, and I always felt, whether it's dentistry or helping people, I had to be in prime shape, mentally and physically, to be able to perform at my best. So whenever people always ask, why do you do all this crazy stuff? And I say, well, when I come and have a problem, my problems are always smaller after a run or a ride or a swim. Yeah. And I also, if people ask that question, they probably won't get the answer. It makes me feel better.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that. Part of the reason why I became a psychotherapist was a heart crisis that caused, my whole life was derailed with heart failure. And it was during that time where I was trying to just figure out what to do next that I learned about the trifecta of mind, body, and spirit. And when all three are working well together, you are much happier. And like you said, it's like even after a good run, your mindset is probably so different, because it's like, look at what I just accomplished. Yeah. And that builds confidence. right?
Yeah. And there's the chemical endorphins,
the endorphins.
and caffeins.
Well, absolutely.
The feel-good medicines.
Yeah. So when you have to give Bojangles up, and how many dogs have you fostered?
He's number 10.
Number 10.
And canine support teams will say you can always dry your tears on the fur of a new puppy.
Of a new puppy. I was going to ask you how you get over it. And so how long do you usually? Because I'm big on grief support too, and I know that when these guys go, you have a little bit of grief. You're probably a little bit more accustomed to it, but you also have a heart with you, so you get attached. So besides the puppy, I mean, how long do you wait before you will allow them to give you another puppy?
Usually we
the
go
same
in,
day?
Same day, and we have dogs of our own, so that
well, they
also
do
helps.
say the best way to get over a relationship is to get another one. Whether it's a dog, a human, or whatever, right? Not necessarily.
Speaking of dad jokes,
speaking of dad jokes, I love
it reminds me of Paula Puddingstone, a female comic, said, "Why do women say men are dogs? They're not that loyal."
All right, but now we have to have some of your dad jokes for perpetuity.
Oh.
So you told a really good one about the skeleton crossing the road the other day, which was memorable for you.
Yeah.
Share that one, please.
Well, I was a dentist, and I went into dentistry because I was a failed comedian, and I had a captive audience, and if they didn't laugh at my jokes, I would hold them Novocaine. So, but I used to do a lot of kids, and jokes run through a school like a wildfire, and it was around Halloween, and the typical joke was, why couldn't the skeleton cross the road? And the answer was, because he didn't have any guts. Well, I had a young boy in the chair, and he hadn't heard it, so I said, why didn't the skeleton cross the road? And he said, I don't know. I said, because he didn't have any guts. And in the next dental chair next to me, the little boy answers, no, it's because he had no body to go with. I went over there and I high-fived him, and I thought that was just the best. So
Nobody to go with. All right, what are some of the other dad jokes? I'm going to put you on the spot.
Where do dads keep their jokes?
Where do the dads keep their jokes?
In a database.
In a database. All right.
How do you know when a joke is a dad joke?
How?
It becomes apparent.
Becomes apparent.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a bunch of them.
Yeah, you got to go to Rotary to hear them all. Where else do you tell your jokes?
Now that I'm not practicing, it's they're all stored up here. So.
Oh no. Well, one of the things I love about when he brings Mr. Bojangles to Rotary Club is he's got these patches on him, and I want this one right here. And we can't show it to you, but it's shaped like, it's round like the Badass, but it says, "Please don't pet me. I'm working." I think we all should have those.
Yeah. So, say hi, Mr. Bojangles.
Yes. What a beautiful dog. So once again, a Bernese poodle.
Bernedoodle. Bernese Mountain Dog, which is like St. Bernard, without the slobbering, and he has hair instead of fur.
Right.
So they like the doodles because they're hypoallergenic.
Right. So. Yeah, I like him too. Well, he's precious. How old is he?
He's 17 months.
17 months. So you get them in little babies.
Yeah,
They're only like 4 or 6 weeks old or whatever when you get them.
And so we've been doing what we call a flash buy mob. We've been supporting the local restaurants throughout the pandemic, and we could take him to the restaurants, and when he was a puppy, he fit in under the tables really well.
Not so much now.
Now he's got to watch his head.
He's got to have his own chair and a tab.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, Jim, thank you so much for joining me in the Mustang. Of course, this is we call him Yanoshik.
Yep.
Okay, Jim Yanoshik. He's a retired dentist, but he's an avid marathon runner, community service advocate, and all sorts of great things that you do. And the baddest tip today is be selfish.
Yeah.
Really. Be selfish, because when you do something good for people, it makes you feel good too. And I love that. It's okay to be selfish, in this kind of an instance. All right, so I have a phrase that we always say at the very end, and you know it now, right?
Yeah.
All right, so this is Kelly Orchard, Badass Certifier, and Yano, reminding you to be bold.
Be bold.
Be brave.
Be brave.
Be confident.
Be confident. And be a badass.
If you enjoy these interviews, you can watch videos of Mustang Monday on Kelly's YouTube channel, too. Grab your Badass Habits ebook. Get started on your badass journey. Go to licensedtobebadass.com.